Oh, and welcome to episode 22 of Barely a Destiny Show, the show where we barely talk about Destiny. And as always, to my right, or to the right, I have my brother Xanafan711. Steve, how's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. Hey. Um, what do you call fly with no wings?
Oh my god. I
A
don't know.
walk.
What?
A walk.
It's the fucking worst. Every week, I don't think they can get worse, and that one is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
And to the left, I've got Slapshot Scott. Scott, what's up, dude?
Not much, man. How's it going, guys?
It's going well.
Excellent.
So, did you guys play any Destiny this week? Or any other games?
A little bit, not too much. It's kind of the same old anymore.
Yeah.
I did my weeklies. Fell asleep on the couch and somehow ended up in the mission where you have to track Skolas across Venus, like through the cinders and everything.
Okay.
So I got blown up by a fallen walker about 6 times before I woke up, and I'm like, "What the fuck? What?" And then I realized, I'm like, "Oh, I have to do things." But the bright side to this story is I have never really used the black spindle a lot because it's an exotic and I am not a sniper.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, my exotic is going to go elsewhere. Well, I figured I was just fucking around. I've 100% of my book. Why not give the black spindle a try? Good Lord, that thing is a rocket launcher in sniper form.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It was like in that mission, you have to like damage Skolas and get him to teleport. I popped off 3 headshots and 50%ed him. I'm like, holy fuck, this thing is serious.
Yeah, dude.
So
did you not use that during Kingsfall ever?
I didn't have it in Kingsfall. I had a 1,000-yard stare and a clan who was like, yeah, that was like, I was still new during Destiny, and my clan. One of the big things they're big with is like, bring what you got. We don't require certain weapons for raids because dickheads do that. So like, everybody.
So good.
There were people in my clan who had it, and they're like, "Yo, don't worry about it. We've got guys with touch. We've got guys with black spindle. Like, we're gonna put you up using the bubble. Just make sure you got your machine gun out and ready to go." All right, like I'd been playing Destiny for 3 months at that point, so I had no idea, and I was just like, blowing shit up, following directions. I'm like, sweet, I did a thing. And then like, I want to say like after Rise of Iron or something, everybody's like, yeah, black spindle, blah, blah. I'm like, I never got that. They're like, what?
Like, what is wrong with you? Go get it now.
And then
you're like throwing rocks while everyone else has got sniper rifles out.
Yeah, pretty much, man. That's what it was doing. So it was one night I mentioned that to my clanmates, and the one of my buddies, Lance, who we play with, he's like, you've never. I said, I know the black spindle mission. I've never done it, and he's like, we're gonna go get that for you right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, I've carried over, I forget how many people he said, but he did black spindle carries from when that mission became a thing, and I guess he's helped a bunch of clanmates do it. So a couple of my clanmates are like, dude, go play with Lance. Go get your black spindle. I'm like, all right, do I have to do anything? And they're like, I'll put it this way. Lance has done that mission so many times that I went with him to help him carry another clanmate. They're like, we danced in the background while Lance killed everything in sight with Hammer Titan. It's like, what? They're like, yeah. So Lance takes me and another guy in, and he's like, all right, just help me kill ads. So like we're going in there with like 400 light gear. I had my Genesis chain, and he had, I think, Genesis chain, and it was just like a combination of stuff. So like we blasted through that with like 5 minutes left to spare on the clock, and it was like ridiculous. So I was like, oh sweet, I got a black spindle, and then I had an ornament for it, so I put that on it, and I just kind of carried it around. I knew it was a good gun. I'm like, just in case I need a good sniper, but I never got around to using it till this week. So this week I'm like running around, and I'm like, oh, we'll give this thing a try, and it was just fucking. The thing is just savage. I couldn't believe how like. Oh. It's like a cut above every single other sniper I've ever used, and I'm like, man, I'm not a sniper. I don't know, depending on the situation, I don't know if I'd dedicate an exotic slot to this weapon because I'm not a sniper, and it's usually better people sniping than me.
Right.
But if I need a good sniper, and it's not like a rocket launcher friendly or sleeper friendly raid or whatever, Black Spindle is going to be my go-to. So that thing was ridiculous.
What we used to do is you would get to the War Priest and you'd get out your LMGs for your heavy slot. So you're not using Gallahorn.
Right.
But then you would get, because the LMG was just for clearing ads, and then we would get Black Spindle out and just unload into his fat head. You never reload ever. And then immediately go to the sisters, and that was before the flinch got you real bad, and you would just take down the sisters with that stuff. That mission was crazy hard too. Like when it first came out.
Yeah.
Like when that was first announced, I was the second time it happened is when I was going in on it. And everyone was going fucking bonkers about it. Like we spent like 4 hours trying to do that.
It's a super good mission too. Like that's one of the better exotic quests I think in Destiny 1. Like that one and Sleeper are probably my favorite exotic quests because they feel like they've got like weight to them. They feel like you're doing something. It's not just like, hey, go collect spin metal for 16 hours in the fucking Cosmodrome in order to get Bolt Caster. It's like, okay, that was really good, but that part sucked.
Can you do it whenever now? Can you just like go in and do that?
I think so.
Because it used to be it had to be the daily.
No, you have to select you can do it whenever, but you have to select heroic. You can't just go do like the daily regular or whatever. You have to.
It used
whatever
to be
the daily, 390
the mission.
Yeah, that's the one. You can pretty much do it any time now. Because we did it. I don't know what the daily was, but like we went in after like PvP or a raid or something. Lance is like, yeah, you guys join on me. I'm going to get us in there. So it was like.
And there was something with it. There was something with it where like I think it was before the like hard mode of the raid had come out or something like that.
Yeah.
And it dropped at a higher light level than anything else in the game.
I think I remember that.
I heard about that too.
Yeah, and then everyone, like I heard rumors that they were going to bring down the light on it, and I was like, no, they're not going to do that. And everyone's like, I'm telling you, infuse it into something and go get it again because they're going to bring down the light on it, and they did. So people were buying those things over and over again from the kiosk and just infusing all their special weapons to such a high level.
That's sweet. Brilliant, though. That's brilliant.
That is kind of smart. So, I do know that it has a chance to drop from Crota now because they didn't bring back Black Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a chance to drop from the new Crota challenge mode. I haven't seen it drop. I've heard a couple people say they got it.
Just go ace the mission now. It's so easy.
Most people I know just go for the mission. Honestly,
you could probably even solo it no problem. Just get your Dark Drinker out. Go once you get to that room, just go off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I played a little bit of Destiny today. I've been playing Paladins a lot.
I need to get that still.
It's fun, but it's like, okay, Scott, you'll love it because you're in my situation where you're like, I got like 30 or 45 minutes to kill. I could just play like a couple games of Paladins. Even if you're like, I got 20 minutes, I could get a game in.
Right.
Although matchmaking will take you fucking 20 minutes to get into a game. God damn it.
Yeah, I saw you say that. I was like, oh.
It's just still in beta, so.
Okay, so if not everybody, it'll be like, game found, press X to join. If everyone doesn't hit X, it starts over. Then, if everyone hits X, you'll get put into the character selection. And if somebody doesn't pick a character, it starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Jesus.
If you don't pick a character, you get locked out for 5 minutes, though. So you can't be like, oh, somebody picked my character. I'm just not going to pick one. So.
Oh, jeez.
But then I played, you guys ready for this Destiny stuff that I played? I played 2 matches of SRL. I played with, we played with Dan, and he was playing on the DTR channel. So we played with like Dan and Anon and Justin from Dad's Tales, and then Offline Gamer. So there's you guys' shout-outs. Sorry, Justin, I don't have a basket to put all those names I just dropped.
Oh,
Steve,
man.
you play?
Yeah, I did. I streamed like a little bit before we were on the Loot Cast on Tuesday. Some doubles.
Oh yeah, we
with,
were on the Loot Cast. You guys should
yeah.
definitely go check that out. It was really fun.
It was. But yeah, so it was like an hour of just doubles with Celia, who hasn't really ever played doubles before. And we won every single match except our last one, which was super close. But the thing that was really amazing was the very first match was what's that? It's an Earth map where the like giant like long sniper lane through the middle, and then like B has that little hut. Yeah, Widow's Court.
Oh no, it's not Widow's Court. I know what you're talking about. It's entirely one lane. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
And
little
then there's,
hut
like, that
that's
one
like a
section.
crazy party
Yeah.
room where Heavy spawns on top of the little hut.
And B's inside the hut.
God damn it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not an Earth map. If it's Momentous.
No, that isn't. It is an Earth
It's
map.
an Earth map. Yeah, it's an Earth map.
Memento's a Venus map.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
case in point,
Memento's a Venus map.
they were sniping a bunch. So we were down. It was like 3,800 to 1,800. And I was just like, all right, because they weren't. It was not skirmish. It was salvage. This one. So.
Okay.
And they weren't getting the relic. They were just sniping at the relic. So
What?
I was like, all right, yeah, screw that. I'm gonna flank
You mean
them.
they weren't playing the objective?
Hey
Right.
You
Scott,
mean salvage is fucking broken? What?
it is an Earth map.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
No,
an Earth
it's
map.
not.
There's like semi trucks in
No.
there and
Yeah, there's like street signs and stuff. Not to mention, I just looked
Yeah.
up Crucible maps and it shows a list of all the ones on Earth, and Memento's one of them.
yeah. It's an Earth
No
map.
way.
But you're right on the
I
name.
could've sworn it was Venus.
He's gonna look it up.
All right, go
I
on.
gotta-
Steve.
Anyway, so
Go ahead.
so yeah, we're down 2,000 points, and they only need 1,200 to go to win. So I said, screw this. Let's go for. They're not going for the objective, so we need to go for them to get them out of the. We need to get them out of their rhythm. So I flank them. I get both of them. I was using. It was a weird setup for me. I was using Extremophile with High Cal and Wormwood. So. Which is a fantastic combo, actually. If you can take one out and then just switch guns and take the other one out real quick. So we pull it up to like, it ends up being like 4,700 to 4,500. We take one of the relics and we're like, we snag it and we back up so that we're not right on top of it. And they start pushing hard, and I'm just like, just don't die. Be careful, don't die. We should get this. And then once it hits that timer, like, okay, you guys successfully salvaged this relic, we won. And we won by 20 points or something like that.
God.
It's like the
Nice.
biggest comeback of all time. It was so
That's
much
good.
fun.
That
Got
sounds
so
super
hyped.
gratifying.
I fucking
Yeah.
I hate when people don't, when it's objective based game mode and people just like post up and snipe or something like that.
Oh my god.
There is nothing that tilts me harder than that, and I will just fucking rage about it.
You
I won't
So we
never
taught them a
mind.
lesson.
Don't play paladins. Don't.
We taught them a lesson.
No, it's
Um,
and I love it. Like, one of my favorite things to do when Iron Banner was Rift is you'd get these people who would set up the Rift and they just snipe it. I'd throw on Doom Marchers with a Striker Titan and a shotgun. I'd grab the Rift and just Titan skate as fast as I fucking could and dunk it. And there was times I was solo queuing. I'd have like 3 dunks, and they'd still be trying to snipe. And it's like, you guys can snipe me out all you want. If I can get my hands on that relic, I'm fucking gone.
Yeah. Throw Jug on too.
Yeah. Oh god. I'm always a shoulder charge guy. So like I'd be running along with like Dune Marchers and shit. I got my Matador out. I got the Rift, and I'm like booking it. And 3 guys show up in front of me. I'm like, hey, guess who's getting fucking shoulder charged?
Right.
Just like
I
bulldoze right through them. It's great.
had a Rift match one time where they were doing that, and it was on. It was the map with the giant like sun-looking thing in the middle by B.
God, Steve.
I can't remember names for these.
Last exit.
Yes, last exit.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not last exit.
No. Okay. Whatever.
Icarus.
Anyway,
Icarus.
It's
That's
Icarus.
what it was. Icarus, yeah.
Okay. So I am the only person that ever grabbed the spark, and I'm the only person that dunked the spark. I was 5-0 dunking the spark. I had 11,000 points. I literally would just like
I've done that before.
like, grab the spark, run,
Yeah.
and like their rift was at A, I want to say it is,
Right.
and it's like this like crate right in front of it. So I would literally just run through the middle, go around to their side through the middle, jump, skate right over top of the thing, and then immediately down and dunk it. And they couldn't see me any of the times. I don't understand it. They did not change their strategy the entire time. I did literally the exact same thing every time.
I love it. One of the like biggest, I'll say biggest scumbag moments I've ever seen playing Rift was actually kind of genius that I had never thought of. It was of course it was like 6 of us from my clan, and we're rolling through an Iron Banner Rift, and my clanmates don't always like the objective based game modes like Rift, so they're kind of just like, this sucks, blah blah blah. So one of the other guys in my clan is a Warlock main, Irish Hammer. And he's, if you guys know Irish, if you've ever played with him, I don't think you guys have, he's like brutal. He says just fucked up shit on comms, and it's hilarious. And he'll play ruthless when he's playing PvP. So like he'll come up with scumbag loadouts and just shoot him. Doesn't even fucking care. Mm-hmm. So he was running around with a Voidwalker, and then he switched to Stormcaller, and he was using Blink. So like he would grab the Rift, because like it was him and I who were going to run the Rift, and they're like, no, let Irish take it. I'm like, why? He's got a Warlock. He moves slower than the Titans. They're like, no, he's going to use Blink. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna like, I'll run cover for him. So like 2 or 3 of us are like basically trailing like off to his wings, you know, and there's like a group of guys surrounding the enemy Rift, and they're just like shooting at him. So we start shooting at the guys with the Rift, and he just like fucking blinks past him into the Rift, and I'm like, oh my god. I was like, that's the fucking dirtiest thing I've seen, because he just literally blinked through the roadblock. I'm like, that was dirty. And he's like, yeah, bro, I do it all the time. Like,
dude,
yeah.
Can you imagine how sweet it would be if you could pass the Rift?
Oh my god, that would be sweet.
You just got me thinking like Titan skate with it, like, oh, he's getting close, and then a Warlock just runs by you, grabs it, and blinks in.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do that's really dirty that I realized is you can shade step with the Rift or with the Spark.
That's disgusting.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Welcome to Rift Strategy Guide, your #1 podcast for Rift strategies.
But yeah, you just charge, like,
so
people are like,
good.
why is this guy holding the Spark just charging me? And then you just shade step right past them. And they're like,
That's
oh, wait.
so good.
Oh, it's
my
dirty.
God.
It's dirty.
So, I was telling you guys I've been playing Paladins.
Yeah.
And I have some fucking complaints for this game. This is going to be a salty episode, by the way. I've got lots of complaints today.
Yeah.
Fucking, okay. So you got frontline, which is your tank. You got healers. And you got damage and flanks.
Mm-hmm.
I am constantly playing games with all damage or flank on the other team. Or my team, except for the fact that I'm the only fucking guy on the planet that plays frontline characters. So if you don't know how this works, what you do is you'll run to the middle of the map, you have to cap a zone, and then a fucking like cart full of bombs appears, and you have to, the bombs don't explode. You have to push the cart by standing next to it all the way to the objective. So it's exactly like Overwatch.
Yeah.
But fucking nobody ever plays the goddamn tank, and I am about to lose my fucking mind. Like when I play a match and somebody picks Fernando, who is a knight, who has a giant like he's got the shield, like what's his face from Overwatch? I just said it earlier.
Begins with an R.
Yeah. That guy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't play Overwatch.
He's got okay, it looks like the new Titan wall. That's a better example.
Okay.
The new big Titan
wall. You can walk with it, and he's got a giant hammer, and he shoulder charges.
What? No. It's not a hammer. It's a lance. It's a flamethrower.
No, in Overwatch, it's a giant hammer.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay. I was
Okay.
gonna say Buster was talking about this one.
Yeah. So Fernando pops up his big ass shield, and if I pick another tank, and I'll get behind him, and my tank is his name is Ruckus. He's got 2 miniguns. So you can shoot through the shields, but the other team can't shoot back through them. So I'll just sit there with Ruckus just firing like crazy through that. And Ruckus can also shield your fellow players. So as soon as the shield breaks on Fernando, I just shield him real quick. He'll take a couple hits, and then I have an overshield. So I'll pop that. We'll still be chilling. And then Fernando's like, hey, guess what, bud? Got my shield back. So we just don't take any damage as long as we have a somewhat competent team. But we don't.
It's like a bubble train.
I was going to say, that sounds like the problem.
Yeah. It's okay. So that's my big gripe with this game is I think it's super fun. I've been playing all week, but god damn it, if people don't know how to team comp, it's stupid. But that whole combo with those two guys is so much better when you get a healer to just stand next to you guys and just drop healing the entire time. It's so good.
That's what I was just going to say is I play healers in these kind of games. I've been planning on downloading it anyway, so I'm going to there we go. I'm your healer.
Let's do Paladins then Friday. Paladins Friday. This is now barely a Paladins cast until Destiny 2. I don't know. I'm kind of sick of playing Destiny. I don't know. I just feel like there's not much to do anymore. I'm getting hyped for the beta.
It's just Crucible. That's all I do is Crucible.
I've been playing a lot of weeklies. I have to go ghost hunting. But I've been playing I used to play like every night a week. I used to have a regular raid night and stuff. And like, since I 100% of my book, I'm kind of like taking a breather, doing some real life stuff. I've been spending a lot of time in the garage doing Jeep things and just that kind of stuff.
Right.
I thought about playing Borderlands the other night, but I was like, it's kind of late and I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Mostly because
you need to hook up with the Destiny Community Podcast guys because they love Borderlands.
They all playing Borderlands. I know all my
Bear and Briar, I think.
Yeah. No, let me just hit those guys up real quick. I'm sure they're
just be like, so Borderlands.
You want to play Borderlands? Who are you? No, I'm sure they would play if they have the time with you. I don't know. I don't know these guys. Whatever. They seem nice.
My issue is I'm always on, like, I think I was talking to Ben about this. I'm always on at weird times. Like, sometimes it's just like I get on at midnight on a weeknight, and I'm like, I need to just play a couple games of something just to clear my head before bed. And usually it's like right about then, so there's not many people on, unless they're West Coasters, and I don't really have too many West Coast people on my friends. I got a couple, but they haven't been on lately. So I thought
you were going to be like, and I hate West Coast people.
No, fuck no, man.
Fucking West Coast kids. They think they're so cool with their son and their skateboards.
I would actually rather live on the West Coast, honestly.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like, I don't know what it was, man, but like a couple winters ago, I lived about 30 miles north of where I am now. So it was like up in Saratoga County. And where we were, it was just like on a plateau, sort of. So you'd walk out of the apartment in the morning, and it was already 20 degrees, right? So there's snow and ice and all that bullshit. But you'd walk out, and now there's a wind chill that drops it another 20 degrees. And some people are like, pussy. I'm like, listen, I did like snowboarding, everything when I was younger, didn't faze me one bit. I'd be out on the mountain in like 20 below, whatever, at the peak riding and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. I wouldn't feel it. That winter just broke me. I'm like, no, I can't do this anymore. I need to move somewhere warm. Like, not where it's always hot, like Florida or the desert. But I'm like, I need to move someplace where it's not like 20 degrees. And then there's another 20 degrees wind chill that like fucking hurts my face. Like, dude, I just can't. So
you said Florida.
Not Florida.
You said not Florida. Hot, like, somewhere that's not hot all the time, like Florida. I mean, California's nice because you get that ocean breeze. I cannot stand Florida. It's hot. Yeah. It's humid in Ohio. It's pretty humid. Florida, I get down there and I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. It's crazy. Yeah. We were playing. Actually, this is funny. I was playing with my buddy Crusher Destroyer from Monswoon. He was on the first episode of our podcast. And we were playing with Narwolf, and the whole time I had asked Crusher, I was like, dude, are you playing outside? Because I could just hear wind the entire time. And he's like, no, I have a fan directly in front of my face. Then Narwolf gets on, and he's just like, dude, is somebody here playing in a fucking hurricane? I was just like cracking up. I was like, "Yep." So that accurately describes me in Florida. Is just fan directly in front of my face, dying. I can't handle it.
One of the dudes who I used to play with a lot from the Ghost Stories Discord used to do that. I think it was Cosmo. I think it might have been Cosmo, and like we'd be playing either PvP or something, and maybe Challenge of the Elders, and one of the other guys would like call something out. Maybe they'd be like, this is Cosmo. You got it, Cosmo. And there's nothing, and we're like, what's he? And then he'd flip on his mic, and we'd hear the hurricane again, and he'd say something like, "Oh, right, sorry."
Right.
I feel for you guys
Vegas.
that have to play in the hot weather.
Yeah, I lived in Vegas for like a year and a half, and it's not like as bad as Florida because it's dry. But the summer there is like winter here. You just don't go outside. It's just so hot.
I feel like I was gonna get a heat stroke sitting in a car in Vegas.
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. Yeah, and then but LA, like Southern California, is like always just like 60 to 80 degrees. Always.
It's perfect.
For the most part. Yeah, perfect. It's stupid.
Aside from it never raining, but
yeah, it never rains.
I mean, which honestly, that's kind of like depending on who you are, that's a nicer thing. You're like, and it never rains.
I'm okay with that because I've said it before. I drive a Jeep, so if I could drive around with the doors off and the top off for most of the summer and not have to worry about getting caught in a rainstorm and getting fucking drenched and smelling like a wet muskrat when I'm done, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, someday, I was thinking about this because you were talking about how you went and rode your Jeep this weekend.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do that so bad. So someday I'm going to meet up with you and we're going to ride in that Jeep.
Dude, I'll send you guys a video later in Discord because we did a private property trail ride with my club the other day, and there was this fucking rock that was, you just look at it and you're like, that's a vertical face. No. And a couple of my buddies are like, no, you could do it. No. So then one of my other buddies is like, he says, fuck it, I'll try it. And they're like, no, it's good traction. You can. So he's got a not to get too far off the topic, but he's got a Grand Cherokee on 35s. And so 35-inch tires. Pulls up to this ledge. Goes vertical, almost, like he's, 45 degrees. Eases into it. Back tires touch, pull him up, walks up the ledge. I'm like, fuck you. That just happened. Yeah, did it. I'll send you guys a video. It was fucking awesome. I'm like, wow. The best part is I pull up to this thing, and I'm like sitting there, like facing up, and I'm like, all right. So I'm talking to my buddy who spotted me. I'm like, all right, Bobby, how much do I have? Like, how far should I be over on driver? I'm looking good on driver's side from where I can see, but I'm also looking at the fucking sky. And he's like, no, you should be good. So, like, I go to pull up, and I, like, get my rear tires up on the ledge, and I start to go, and unfortunately, like, the traction, it just kind of slides off to the side. And there's a big, like, ditch, like a drop off in a tree, and we already had a dude who dented his windshield frame and his Wrangler and took a mirror off his door. So I'm like, I don't want to do that today, because he went over too far and kind of slid down. So I was like, all right, I don't want to do that. So Bobby's like, all right, back down, take the same line, and just even throttle. He's like, when you get up there, don't like give it gas to try and get the tires to grab. He's like, I think you could pull it with just like a nice even throttle. So like I basically idled up to it and then climbed the rock face at idle in first gear. It was fucking ridiculous. And so after that happened, I'm just like, you can hear me on the video. I'm like, holy shit, there we go, or something like that. And then afterwards, I like jump out. I'm like, yo, did anybody get pictures of video of that? Like, wow, I was like, I want to show off.
Let's go, baby.
It's definitely not the hardest thing I've done before, because I used to do crazy shit with my old Jeep because it was an old Jeep, and I had a daily driver. So I'm like, yeah, if I smash this thing up, it's not too big a deal. I'll just cut the pieces off and put more armor on it, and just, because, I was young and stupid, and that's where all my money and time went. But like with this one, I definitely set the limit. I'm like, I'm trying to keep this one okay. I'm trying to keep it like presentable because I do drive it to work every day. And I'm trying not to like I realize the impact of taking certain risks now, whereas before I'm just like, fuck it, let's go. But yeah, that's probably one of the harder things I pulled off with this. So it was pretty, and I mean, it was like clockwork too. There were a few obstacles like that where like people who were at the who are on the writers who are like looking, they're like, I don't know if I want to try that. And I'm just like, all right, listen, I've got like 3 guys in front of me that have similarly built vehicles. I'm going to wait and see how they do, and then I'm going to make my decision. And when they walked right up and I'm like, all right, I'm in. Let's do it.
Right.
So yeah, I'll send you guys a video. It was super fun.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, that was a lot of not Destiny, and we are barely a Destiny show, so we should barely talk about some stuff that's been happening. So, the TWAB came out. Nothing really to note. A little bit of information, just real quick, that clans are going to be transferring to D2. You'll have the opportunity to do that on July 25th. And basically, you can switch your clan from being a Destiny 1 clan to a Destiny 2 clan. You can switch the leadership up, and it's kind of like a quick reset, and then we're going to lock it back down again. If you're going to make a new clan, you can make a new clan for Destiny 2 starting on August 25th.
Well, potentially. It said a month later. It didn't give a hard date.
We'll assume.
Yeah.
Some other news. If you want to import your character from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 to get all those sweet, sweet emblems, you can't do it across platforms. So, yeah, if you guys want to switch over to the superior PlayStation, I'm just kidding. If you want to switch over and get your exclusives, or if you want to switch over and play on PC and have that awesomeness, I don't know why you'd switch over to Xbox. I'm just kidding. If you got friends over there, of course you'll drop down to a worse system. Again, I'm just kidding. I just like to razz you Xbox guys. Or if you're getting a Scorpio. I'm sorry, an Xbox One X.
I'm not calling it that.
I'm not calling it that. I'm not going to. I did
Wait,
realize
that's the official name? I thought they were going with Scorpio.
No, it's Xbox One X. Which the acronym for is Xbox.
Xbox. Oh my gosh! And the naming confusion for Xbox continues.
Does that mean that the One S is an Xbox?
Apparently.
That's kind of funny, actually. That is kind of
funny. So yeah, if you want to switch over your account, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it's going to go.
That means no PC player will have any of those emblems.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe eventually they will, but meh. Yeah. A bit of news today, or not today, but a bit of news this week that honestly I was like, is this true? Is this not true? Is that there's apparently no more RNG rolls on your guns. Your Better Devil's Crucible hand cannon, I air quoted that, is going to have the role it's going to have. It's going to be like raid weapons from Wrath of the Machine. You get it, and that's what it has. What do you guys think about this?
I like it. It gives it way more of an MMO feel. The only thing that I hope they do is like, okay, so X gun drops from certain boss or whatever. So if you want that gun, you kill that boss and you get a chance at that gun, and you know that that's exactly what you're going to get. That's one thing that I really like. I do think that it's going to remove part of the grind unless there's just a ton of guns, which there potentially could be. So I don't think it'll be an issue as long as there's a ton of guns. But if it's like D1 where there's not a whole lot of variation in like base guns, then it's gonna get kind of boring really quick.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it because you're not gonna get fucking dumb perks that you don't want on your guns anymore, or you might.
Right. You mean you're not gonna miss oiled frame?
Yeah, stuff that you're just
take a knee on a hand cannon or something.
Yeah, stuff that you're like, that doesn't make any sense for that to have that. I do like it. I also don't like it. I don't like it because I like the chase, and I like when like you get some random one that's really good. Like when I had my God Roll Clever Dragon super early, I was like, oh baby, like it's nice to feel on top for a little bit, and I think we've all had that though. That's my thing. I think at some point in Destiny, all of us have had that gun that we're like, oh yeah, but mine will just fucking destroy you. So losing that is kind of a bummer to me. That's as much as I feel about it.
Yeah.
Scott,
I think
what do
they
you
can.
think?
Oh, go ahead, Scott.
Good. No, go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say, I think what they could do to give that kind of a feel still is like, okay, say Axis drops, like 3 legendaries and 1 exotic. If they make the exotic more rare, as it should be, in my opinion, because it's exotic, then you are not like think the way Galahorn was in vanilla. Like it was really hard to get Galahorn. Now, if they made it so Galahorn maybe dropped with the same frequency, but only from a certain person, then you have to still grind that person to get your Galahorn.
Yeah.
So it's more of like I want this specific gun, not the roll on a gun. And like when you get it, you got it. It's got the roll you wanted and everything. But chances of getting that specific gun are slimmer.
Have we seen somebody like go into the inventory and look at the perks on a gun yet? We haven't seen that, right?
That hasn't
No.
been publicized as far as we know.
Okay.
That was the big thing. Everybody was trying to figure out like what the perks were going to be on the guns. Like Crucible Radio, guys did that at the D2 reveal event. Fallout Plays was trying to get that so he could get like an idea what we're working with. They have not made those public yet, other than a couple exotics like that Suros auto rifle that acts as a Gatling gun, that Sunshot, I think it's a sidearm or a hand cannon with the popcorn exploding heads that they reference. There's a few of them that they just have not. They haven't made that stuff public yet.
Okay. Because here's what I'm thinking, though. Have we seen any perks other than the exotic ones? Like, is lightweight on any of them? I feel like I heard somebody say that lightweight was on a gun. Because I don't want to say this and look like an asshole.
No, I think it was... It wasn't lightweight per se. It was one of those things where, I think they said... Shit, I can't remember who... Because they were talking about this, about the D2 reveal event, and they said there were certain guns, I think it was only mentioned in passing, that somebody mentioned there were only certain guns that would boost your agility or boost your reload. But other than that, it wasn't like, here's oiled frame, here's lightweight, here's whatever. It was like they had something there, but it wasn't super what's the word? It wasn't elaborated on.
Well, I just pulled up an image of somebody scrolling over a weapon, and it does have lightweight, the perk.
Okay.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's the Red Mamba submachine gun. It's got lightweight on it, and then it's also got, I don't know what this perk is, but it grants a short period of increased stability and accuracy on initial trigger pull. So that's a new perk. But
they actually did mention that perk for hand cannons too.
So
that's the dumb.
What I'm thinking though, sorry, I had to burp. What if these guns only have 2 perks on them, and then that mod slot is where we're going to get our RNG?
Yeah,
I think it was IGN that brought that up this week.
See, I didn't listen to it. I listened to those on Monday.
See, I was on the road yesterday. It was a 2-hour ride to that trail ride, so I'm like, all right, podcast time. So that is one of the things that, not to spoil it for you guys, but that's one of the things they brought up is and they've been talking about the possibility that hey, maybe these weapon mod slots are where we're going to get things, and I think that would be really cool. My whole take on the fixed perks and stuff, it's one of those things where you guys know me, I fucking hate mindless grinds.
Yeah,
I like objective based stuff. Obviously, I like to go here, kill this boss, get this weapon, and then upgrade it, whatever. So I am 100% in support of this. To an extent, we kind of talked about this on our show before, in the sense of should endgame content be overpowered or game breaking? And Steve and I were talking about it with raid weapons being totally badass, so you could see somebody whoa, you beat Wrath of the Machine challenge, or Vault of Glass challenges. You got the exotic Fatebringer. Let's let that run wild. Right now in Destiny 1, with the way the Crucible is and stuff, that would horribly fuck things up, and everybody would they'd throw a shit fit. People would throw a shit fit. So I understand why it's not like that in D1. However, in D2, I really like this idea, because for a long time, you know, the amount of stuff I've played and the amount of completely useless weapons that I've gotten that ended up as legendary marks, weapons parts, even armor, some of the armor that I've gotten, just as infusion material, light level only. I'm just like, what the fuck is the point of this? Honestly, this is crap. I just played like 3 hours of Crucible. I didn't get one decent Matador. I didn't get one decent Isoluna. I didn't get, like whatever, and it's like,
Yeah.
that can get really exhausting after a while. Or like, hey, I just beat fucking Vault the Glass challenge mode. We stomped the Templar. We just fucking teabagged Atheon in one cycle. Why am I getting armor that's 85%? This is bullshit. And I mean, like, there's not. It's not so much like I'm not trying to be salty about it, but like there's times where like we've all kind of inspected our armor afterwards, and we're like, really? Like we're getting garbage rolls on this, or like for King's Fall, like they had that alternating perk in the middle of their weapons. And granted, some of the King's Fall weapons we'll say weren't the most desirable in the game. I certainly wasn't going after them, but it goes with the same thing. Like you put that much effort into going through and getting something, and then it turns out to be suboptimal, or like you can't really use it, and it's like I have a problem with that because you're working hard to get in-game content, right? So if you go flawless in Trials of Osiris, you should have a fucking gun that's like 1, if not 2 to 3 cuts above the rest, because going flawless outside of being carried or paying for a carry is something huge. Maybe not to people who go flawless every weekend, like the hardcore PvP crowd, but at the same time, like you're still doing something that's end game. It's still huge, You're not just like going out and doing your patrols and saying, hey, look at me, I got this fucking thing from a patrol, or beating like the hard mode raids. I mean, what they started doing in D1 with the raid ghosts dropping at 100% stat rolls is fantastic. I love that. Even if I'm not going to use discipline strength ghost or an intellect strength ghost, it's still 100%. It's still going to boost your stats. So that works into, sort of we talked about builds and stuff like that before. That kind of works into the stat rolls where like, hey, I'm running heavy intellect discipline, but I want to hit tier 12. So I need like more strength and I need this. So I'm going to grab this intellect strength ghost. So this discipline strength ghost, depending on what I'm playing and the like whole idea behind what I'm doing, to like boost those stats and make it good for PvE, or if you're running like PvP. And, a lot of people like, I don't like that. I don't like playing games where I have to think that much. I just want to shoot demands. And it's like, that's fine, but you have to understand part of the objective of Destiny as a game is to grind for that loot. Not even necessarily grind. It's to work. It's like you have to play smart. You have to have like, you have to be paying attention. And
it's the RPG element.
It is, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, I used to not pay attention to that, but the second I started doing that, it was amazing. Like the difference between having a fully spec'd intellect discipline Sunbreaker in PvP, the difference between having a fully intellect discipline defender in raids with like good rolled gear, and you have an idea of what you're doing, you know what you're doing. It's so just so different. It changes the game, and that's why I think a lot of people, like it's one of those things where I kind of wish that I know they're trying to make it more appealing to the casual player, but I kind of wish they'd throw that out there and say, hey, if you guys like it this way, you should really try this whole build thing other people are doing. Here's what's going on. And that's where you get people like Fallout Plays and some of the Crucible guys who are, like the Crucible scientist types. That's where you get guys like Dado. I really wish that they put more of that out there. And that's why I like this fixed weapon roll thing, because say we go out and we ace the first raid, we completely stomp that boss. So we come out of that with like an exotic or, something like a weapon that has fixed perks that is just so good. And I think that's good because it's rewarding. Now, a lot of people are like, but that takes away the grind. It's like, yeah, but if the grind is pointless, what's the point of the grind? Like,
oh man, you're getting meta on me.
Yeah.
Hey, and to kind of go off what you're saying, no one's talking about fixed rolls on armor, and we're going into Destiny 2. From what I can gather, seems a lot more RPG heavy than Destiny 1 so far. So with fixed rolls on armor, you can plan for what you want to build, and then you can, for example, like set chest piece has this much armor, this much recovery, and this much agility. So you can plan like I need this piece, and then that piece, and this piece, and they drop from this person, and that person, and that person. So you can really fine tune your build to be exactly how you play, more so than in Destiny 1. And I really, really like that they're going, instead of int discipline and strength, they're going towards, the armor, recovery, and agility, because now it basically int strength, all it does is change your timers. And with a more stable set of timers, or you can barely change how you're affected. They said you can, but it's not enough to be game breaking. You really, really have to focus on that RPG element to build how you want. Like I play more tanky, speedy kind of thing, but say I'm playing Sentinel in D2. In a raid, I'm going to have armor and recovery. Fuck agility. Like I don't need any agility. But in PvP, I'm going to want more armor and agility. So you can have your different sets of gear with guaranteed rolls for those different things that you're doing, and you have just a lot more adjustability, I think.
Now, I think it is also important too to specify. I was listening to, I'm pretty sure it was Fireteam Chat yesterday, and they did say they have not discussed fixed rolls on armor yet for Destiny 2. So they've confirmed fixed rolls on weapons. They haven't. I think they're talking about fixed rolls for armor for certain things, but I don't think they've confirmed it yet. So I think it would make sense, certainly from the perspective you're talking about, Steve. Like that'd be fucking great. I would love that, because I would just raid and get like the armor with the best stats and use that all the time. Right? Which would be awesome. Likewise, if there's an element, like I was telling. I think I was telling you guys, and I was talking to somebody else about this too. Like people were getting really hardcore on armor stats and stuff like that for Crucible and raids and stuff, and I'm like, dude, that's why I'm looking every week. And they're like, yeah, my stats are great, but the armor looks like shit. And I'm like, dude, that's why I'm still playing Destiny. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, now I'm grinding for armor that has good stats, the perks I want, and looks cool. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, why do you think I run around with like a full new Monarchy armor that glows orange with fucking like Glowhoo and other bizarre shaders? And they thought, like, people thought I was fucking crazy for that. And then I was in game and I was telling them, like, that's why I'm doing it. And Renegade Siggy from the DGS Discord, who I play with a lot, he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, dude, that's what I'm doing too. So like we're standing in the tower one day with like, the PvE stuff we use for when we're going into like some of the old raids when we didn't have all the raid armor for like new Crota and new Vogue. And a couple of people said, it's like, dude, your armor looks fucking cool. It's like, yeah, it's tier 11 too. Still working on getting that tier 12. So it was really funny because people are always like, oh, there's nothing to do in Destiny. It's like there's always something to do in Destiny 1, even as it's like D2 is on the horizon. It just depends on how you want to spend your time, Right. Which again, that's I think what they're doing with D2. It's going to make the game work a little differently, but I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's RNG rolls.
Yeah, they could also too with armor sets. So this will be really quick. If they have an armor set, give you a bonus of some kind for wearing the whole set.
Yes, please.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Bonus.
Or like you have 3 pieces, it gives you this added bonus, and then 4 pieces a different bonus, and then if you have the whole set, it gives you a third bonus. Because that would entice you to wear a whole set.
I would like it if that was cool. Just on raid armor, because it would give me a reason to unequip an exotic.
Yes.
Like, give me a good reason to not wear an exotic piece of armor. I want that bonus for the set.
Or if the last bonus isn't good, you can choose to use your exotic over that one last piece.
Yeah.
I'd even, I'd even go lower than that. I would even say, I don't, like bonuses for full sets of armor could be problematic. Okay, I get that from a balancing perspective from the developer's point of view. You know what? Give me a fucking shader. If I collect a full set of armor, give me a shader. Like I'm a shader whore. I collect them. You guys know that. So I mean,
Yeah.
like I've got my King's Fall armor. I got lucky enough with that. I got my Wrath of the Machine armor. I got lucky enough with that. I use the Wrath of the Machine shaders all the time because I was lucky enough to get through that raid enough times to collect a full set of armor. I wish they did it with Vault and New Crota, or New Vault and New Crota, I should say. But the problem is or maybe it's not a problem depending on what perspective you're coming from. It's not like you're not getting the same armor drops. You know what I mean? Like Wrath of the Machine, you can go through and get several. You can go through several runs of it and build a full set of whatever. Whereas like unless you're using Knuckles of AO, which I was using like 3 of coins. I was like, what are these? Like 3 of coins for a raid? Sweet. And then I wouldn't pop them again. I didn't realize you have to like bank them kind of and pop them after each encounter that you want something. You get like double the chance to get drops. In my experience, it's been drops of armor, like raid armor. So
it's just anything. It just doubles your drops.
It doubles your drop rate. I'm not like I haven't played through the new raids enough with Knuckles of AO active because I always forget I have the fucking things to see the difference. But it's one of those things where I think it's kind of cool that they do that, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, man, I don't know. Like I want, like, even if I had like perfect example is the original Vault, one of the original Vault shaders, Chatterwhite. Like a lot of my clan, it's a great shader, and a bunch of my clanmates all wear it. I'm like, guys, I still don't have that because even though I've played through Vault of Glass a handful of times, both like before it was brought up to level and new level, it just doesn't drop enough. So like if you could tie some shaders to like completing sets of armor, like even faction shaders, like say and we don't know how factions work in D2 yet, so this is all speculation, but I mean, say like you are hardcore Dead Orbit or New Monarchy or Future War Cult. So you collect that full set of armor, and it's like, hey, you've been dedicated to our cause, you've equipped that full set of our armor, we're going to give you this shader. And so like you can walk around with that, people, because I'm guilty of it. You know, like I said, I love shaders because they have the only value they have in the game is their visuals, so it makes things look cool. And I love that. Like the second I saw Glowhoo, I'm like, that shader is the colors of my favorite hockey team. I need that shader. How do I get it? And somebody's like, you got to go do Crota. I'm like, all right, who wants to do Crota? Yeah. And it was great, you know. So like, there's other shaders too. I see that. I'm like, how do I get that one? Okay, I got to go run Crucible. I got to go run Strikes. You know, so like it's a really cool thing. And I think if they tied like that little bit, because everybody always wants exclusivity, right? Like everybody always wants to show that they're a dedicated player. They want something that you see in the tower. You know, like the people with the flawless ornaments for trials, or the people who walk around in their raid gear with their ornaments fully on. It's one of those things where, like, you want people to see it and be like, whoa, that's really cool. How'd you get that? And you'd be like, yeah, I went flawless, or something like that. So I think that's
not go flawless.
No, of course not. I told you guys know I'm a fucking scrub.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like even tying shaders to it would be a really cool thing. And I mean, if you make it something really obvious, like a shader that's really obvious, like the Ascendant Plane from King's Fall, it's glowing green and black with like white accents. All the Wrath of the Machine shaders are fucking ridiculous. Like they'll glow. The two for the regular and hard mode raids glow red. I think the other one glows orange. So it's like all orange, but I haven't seen that one really enough in the wild to like make the judgment on it. But yeah, it like just attracts attention to you. So I really like that. I think even that would be a cool thing to add in D2.
I think an easy fix what MMOs do is have appearance slots. Appearance slots.
There are problems with that, though. They talked about how they want, like, especially with exotics, they want people to be able to see it and know what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see a Saint 14 running at you, you're like, okay, don't step in his bubble. That's a mistake. But I think to go back to getting a perk for a full set, as far as balance goes, if you just make it like the perks that the armor has now for a raid, the raid specific perks, just make the set like fucking dope.
Yeah, it works in PvP and only PvE, or PvE and only PvE.
I mean, it could still work in PvP, but it won't work in PvP because you don't have a raid encounter. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I see, like the Wrath of the Machine armor. I think Bones from Crucible Radio was talking about how if you use the boots and you get melee kills in the Crucible, that agility bonus, the agility buff it gives you, stacks. So it like still works, and I like that because even if it's not game breaking, it is like a low level advantage given to somebody who went out and completed a raid.
Yeah, and if that's like your build and everything. But I'm saying, give us a big stinking perk that is like all Wrath of the Machine weapons are 25% more powerful if you have the full set. Like something crazy. That's kind of a really lame example, but you know what I mean. Something that's a noticeable bonus to us.
Like a full set of vault armor gives you more damage against oracles.
Or a full set of vault armor gives you better protection against the Templar.
Yeah, so that way it doesn't have to be on your gun. It's on the armor. You can use whatever gun you want.
They kind of did that with the Wrath of the Machine gauntlets. Like, it increases your chance. We call them raid wings because anytime we're going out on a thing against Fallen, everybody's like, put your raid wings on so you can get extra ammo because of the extra heavy ammo. Because that's why we would go into Archon's Forge when we were all trying to grind for like Archon's Forge stuff. We'd get like 3 or 4 people, and we'd do the blueberry trick where we'd get blueberries to invite other people in Archon's Forge. We just fill up an instance Archon's Forge with like people in a party chat, and we'd all have our fucking raid wings on and just get the heavy ammo dropping like crazy. We'd all be spamming galley and sleeper and fucking swords because it was just absolutely ridiculous. We weren't really doing anything super difficult. It was just kind of fun. So we're like, hey, let's just blow up all the things. It'll be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, guys, our show is getting close to the end here. But we do have a segment that I always forget about, and that is our community emails/tweets. So we ask you guys to ask us questions, and sometimes you do, and I really like it when you do. So if you guys wouldn't mind, send us some emails and tweets. You can email us at BarelyADestinyShow@gmail.com and tweet us at BarelyADS on Twitter. Ask us whatever you want to.
Yeah, even if it's poop related, we talk about that.
We got 2 today. One of them is from...
Are they poop questions?
No.
Neither of them are poop questions today. Well, oh no, I thought it said farting simulator. It says farming. BitDead77 on Twitter. He says, by the way, he's a DRP guy. And shout out to DRP. Everybody who's a part of that clan is just so fucking nice. I've never met a DRP guy that was a dick.
Exactly.
He says, what games are you playing to pass the time before D2? I'm playing Farming Simulator 17. Don't laugh. I am going to laugh. That's funny. Keep up the good work, gents. So I think I was talking about playing Paladins, and I played with Narwhal for a while, and that was pretty fucking fun. We were doing some beastly combos. Yeah, I mean, I've done my 2 cents about that game. Other than that, I've been like loosely playing Pokemon when people are like, don't play video games. And I'm like, well, I have my computer here, so I'm going to play Pokemon a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not Paladins or Destiny, I'm probably just hooking up my RetroPie and fucking around with some old games for a little bit. What about you guys?
I'm still like slowly plugging at Mass Effect Andromeda because I just need to beat it. But I did have a little thing on Twitter the other day asking like, what should I stream next? And Subcult really wants to watch me stream The Last of Us because I've only ever played like 5-10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna be streaming The Last of Us. I'll probably start that today if we're not playing Paladins. I have it.
Oh, weird.
I got it for like $10 at GameStop, so I have it. I'm gonna try and get Skyrim also at some point in there,
Who's playing a
because I
didgeridoo
also
in the
have that.
background? Did you hear that? Is somebody like
Steve.
re-racking outside?
I don't know. But yeah, so I'll probably play a little Destiny here and there, just do some Crucible when I need to. I'm going to download Paladins today so I can play with you guys. I got an invite from Buster for Paladins while I was at work, and I was like, is someone on my PlayStation right now? What's happening? But yeah, so I'll be playing a little Paladins, streaming The Last of Us. I'll still stream a little Destiny, and hopefully get to Skyrim. But there's just so many games I got to play, and then once D2 comes out, they're not going to get touched. Dude. So I got to try, and I got a lot of work to do.
You've got time to play Skyrim, because I saw this wonderful article. I posted it on Facebook because I was so irritated with it. It says why you're not going to get Elder Scrolls 6 anytime soon. And you read it, and the TLDR is, we're just not working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're focused on...
They're like, we're working on other stuff right now. I'm like, wow, I could have fucking assumed that. God damn it.
Well, they just released Morrowind. I know it's a different section of Bethesda, but...
Yeah, I don't like ESO Online. Or ES Online. Whatever. I'm not a fan.
I can't get into it. There's no one to play with.
Yeah.
I think that's what the real problem is.
Too many expansions.
There's
Says
only
the guy
one
who plays Destiny.
Right? Is there only one expansion?
There's a ton of expansions for ESO.
Oh, all right.
Like Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood.
The more you know.
I wish you knew what Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood were, Steve, because they're really fucking cool.
Right.
Scott, what have you been playing?
Not much. Like I said, I've been thinking about playing Borderlands. I haven't exactly had a ton of time to sit down and do it, but I think that I'm going to make a little more of an effort to do that in the next week, maybe 2 weeks. There's actually a really cool game that I downloaded probably the first week I had my PlayStation, and I forget the name of it. I think it's like Hard Combat or Hardened Combat or something like that, and it's basically like a cartoony PG version of Twisted Metal. It's like vehicle combat type stuff. I downloaded it because, surprise, it has a thing on it that looks like a rock crawling buggy with a rocket launcher on the top. And I'm like, this is two of my favorite things on a PlayStation. I'm going to go for this. I had no idea what it was. I think I played it for a little while before we were getting ready to go to dinner. My wife was like in the shower or something. I'm like, oh, well, I can't play Destiny, and I don't want to play the other two games that I have for PS4 right now because Star Wars Battlefront is kind of terrible, and
yep.
And Borderlands is just, I know it's going to end up, hey, look, a rabbit trail, and I'm off 2 hours later. My wife's like, yo, we had to go like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
So like I was like, all right, I'm going to download this and play it. So I was like playing the tutorial, and it was super fun. Controls were a little wonky and confusing because it's like you're driving around, and they have like, when you're playing solo, it's like you're driving around, but you're also operating the turret that's on top of the vehicle.
That's
and
weird.
There's different, it's kind of strange, and it doesn't auto track either. So it's not like you can just set it to auto track or set it straight forward and it'll shoot in front of you. You have to like kind of master using both sticks.
Yeah, like steer with both sticks.
Yeah, well, steer with one stick and then like move your targeting reticle with the other one, which actually moves the camera of the game. So like if you're, say there's a enemy at like 3:00, so to your right as you're driving, you got to keep driving straight with the one stick and then use the other stick to swing the turret around and take out the enemy at 3:00. And not all the things are like tracing. So like they have tracing rockets, or they have like, your tracer rounds, but they also have, they don't have homing rockets for everything. It's like one set of homing rockets and then the other one, they're like something else. There's like a laser beam that's kind of like the sleeper simulant or a Queensbreaker bow type of thing, but it's mounted on a turret. So and they have different stuff. Like you can get like basically a dune buggy or a super fast go-kart type thing that's got like weapons on it. They have like the truck / Jeep / Humvee thing that's like the middle of the road, and they have like a tank that's big and super slow, but it also like has the most armor and stuff. So I mean, I haven't played a ton of it. I forget the name of it honestly. I just know it's there. Every time I go to like look at my Destiny videos or post, I'm like, oh yeah, I got that game too. I should do something with that. But it was, other than the controls being wonky, it was kind of cartoony and fun, and I do like games like that. So I was thinking, maybe I'll get into that a little bit. You know, not that we have a ton of time before Destiny 2 drops, but I think those are a couple options that I've been looking at.
Cool. We got another question from our buddy Narwolf with the tiniest
who's in
heart.
chat right now too.
Hey, what's up, Narwolf? How you doing? He says, just heard that when you pass away, you can turn your ashes into playable vinyl records. Assuming you prefer cremation and the vinyl option, what music or sounds would you have on it? Think within or outside the box on this one.
Ooh,
Thanks,
that's a good
Narwolf.
one.
So what do you guys think? What album would you want on there? Or maybe you just want sounds? I mean, I think mine's probably pretty obvious. I'd put a Failed Astronauts record on it.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I
my
was
own
thinking
band.
too.
Oh, you were thinking to put a
like-
Failed Astronauts record on it too?
You know, like my own music, just
I see how it is. You don't
just,
respect
like,
your
my
brother.
favorite. Maybe I would put a Failed Astronaut song on there, especially if you ever have me on a track. That one would be on there for sure.
Oh,
Oh,
goes.
there we go.
Yeah, probably Failed Astronauts. Or, I don't know. Maybe I'd record, like, advice for my kids or grandkids. That sounds weird. That got too deep. Farting.
Yeah. Fart noises, yeah.
Fart noises.
I would probably go with, man, that's tough. Because there's like 4 records that come to mind that I'm like, I would just have to, like the Ramones self-titled, Ace of Spades by Motorhead, Shock Troops by Coxbar, because it's like one of my all-time favorite records. Out Come the Wolves by Rancid, because that was like a huge record from my childhood, like, well, teenage years, you know, that kind of got me into everything. And number 5 would, that's tough. I would maybe do something Johnny Cash related. And it's tough because there's like a shitload of stuff out there of his that are just compilations that other people kind of made and released under, you know, whatever. But it's like I'd have to do one with like, I don't know. That's tough. Like it would definitely be something Johnny Cash related because that's like a big thing that I kind of got both through listening to punk rock and the ties of that, but also like once I figured out who Johnny Cash was, you know, like 13, 14-year-old me was like, oh, this guy? Started listening to some of his records, and like my grandmother was a big Johnny Cash fan, and she was a real big part of my life. So it was one of those things where like I could go talk to my grandmother about Johnny Cash and some of the older artists like him, and it was like a thing we could share in later years. So I think that would be another one. Yeah.
So I like that you didn't say, oh, I just put my band on there. Me and Steve were like, us? Duh. I like me. I came up with a new answer. I'd make a compilation of all my favorite local bands, like all my friends' bands and stuff like that.
That's a good one too, actually. That's a really good one.
Because I think that would be cool because, I don't know, I view my friends are closer to me than a lot of my family. Like other than my immediate family, my friends are what I consider to be family. Yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up. So I said that I was going to do fantasy football last week and set it up for this week. I didn't do that, but we do have some more people that are going to be playing. So people that you may have heard of from other podcasts. I'm just saying you should play fantasy football with us. It's going to be fucking sweet. Scott, are you going to play? Do you even watch football?
No, I don't. My
gonna
clan's
make you
got a
play.
fantasy. My fan's got a fan, or my clan. I can't talk today. My clan has a fantasy football league going as well. And when they asked if I wanted it, I said I don't fantasy or football. So
Clanasy,
No.
Clanasy football.
fantasy football. Yeah. So yeah.
So the invites for that will be going out as soon as I just decide to spend fucking 10 minutes and set it up. I will be the commissioner of this league, and I will accept as much dirt as you guys want to do. This will not be a clean league, so have fun, make shady deals. I'm already planning on making a bunch of bets to delete exotics and stuff. Like, I'll put up an exotic for this week's match. Let's fucking do it. Let's play.
Ben's gonna be like Cade when Shax was coaching dodgeball. I'm making so many Crucible bets while you're gone. You would dare.
Like we say every week, we are going to be doing a clan. So if you would like to be a part of that, our Destiny 2 clan, just let us know in any form. I have a list going on my phone of all the people that are going to get the initial invites. So make sure you join up on that. That way we can get our sweet clan loot together.
Right.
I'm really excited. I'm kind of like, I like this getting loot for clan activities because I want to kind of like push everybody in the clan to be like, let's do this. Let's earn some sweet loot, babies.
Teamwork, getting it done. The more content
makes the dream work.
Yeah. Didn't it say in the TWAB, like, the more content you complete as a clan, the more like stuff you'll get?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I heard that somewhere.
I want to say I've heard that. I don't know how it's going to work, but I think that I like that. I'm a big fan of that.
Like we said earlier, if you have any questions for us, you can send us an email at BarelyADestinyShow@gmail.com. You can also tweet us at BarelyADS. I think... Oh, we have a contest going on.
Yeah, giveaway.
A giveaway. They're Destiny patches that represent each of the classes. They're the class logos. So if you want to put a cool patch on your denim jacket, put a patch on your leather, maybe on your backpack.
I tweeted out a picture of it too.
Yeah, we have. Is it on our Twitter? I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, just leave us a review on Podbean, on iTunes. We had some problem. BitDead left us a review, but I can't find it on iTunes. He told us that he did. So either he's a liar.
No,
or
I saw
just
it
a
once.
problem with it. You saw it?
I think I somehow was able to get on the European iTunes to see it.
Is that
and
a
then
thing?
I haven't been able to
talk
see
about
it
this
since.
Okay.
So if you're in Europe and you leave us a review, take a screenshot of it. Like, BitDead, you're good because we know it's there. But screenshot it and then tweet it at us or email us so we know you left a review. Also, that might, even if you do it for the in the Americas or North America, still maybe you don't have to, but it would really help us out if you took a screenshot.
Just let us know that you
us.
did leave a review. I mean, I'll be checking it. I check them like every day since we started this, and that's going to be ending at the beta or when Destiny 2 comes out.
August 1st.
August 1st. Okay, so when Destiny 1's stuff ends, that's when we're going to end it. You got a month.
Yeah.
1 month, 4 more podcasts, 3 more podcasts. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. 3 or 4. You've got a month.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that about wraps it up. We're going to be playing music from Living with Lions. And shout out to Narwolf. He's been our music curator. He's our unofficial intern, is what I've been calling him. He went and hit up a bunch of bands for us and asked if we could play their stuff on the show. They said yeah. So we have some new music that's going to be coming up. So more and more and more and more. Really excited about this. It was getting a little depressing playing the same bands over and over again, even though I do love them. But we got some new music. Living with Lions is fucking sweet. I've been listening to it all week.
And we have a musical guest coming out in a couple weeks, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, back to that. I love that. I miss having musical guests. It's just so hard to find them. They're fucking gems, though. Each one of them. Shout out to Dan Finity and to Jay Howard and to Tyler and to Cat Dad's Cassettes and to Crusher Destroyer. Yeah. I think that's all of them.
And Boost KDV.
Oh, and Boost. Yes. 3 arms and a leg. Oh, shout out to Dad's Tales. 1 year of podcasts. That's fucking awesome, guys. I'm so happy for them. And they got that Mod Junkie sponsorship. Offer code DTP. Yeah, we're going to be playing Living with Lions. This is their album, Holy Shit. You can find it on icegrillsjp.bandcamp.com/album/holy-shit. I know it's a really long thing. It's going to be
posted
in the
in the show notes.
Yeah, show notes. description. We'll have it there. Thanks so much to Living with Lions for letting us play yourself on the show. You can find me on Twitter at @BenMalone. You can find this show streaming Sundays at about 2 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/BenMalone. Steve, where can people find you?
Twitter and Twitch, and maybe I'll do a YouTube eventually so I don't lose all my videos, mostly just for me, but for some reason, if you want to watch my Twitter videos later, or Twitter videos, yes, Twitch videos, it's Xanafan711 all across the board, ZANIFAN 711.
Scott?
Slapshot Scott, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, the O's are zeros, and when I eventually get my PS4 linked over to my Slapshot Scott channel, I'll upload those videos. Maybe I'll upload some cheap videos. Who knows?
You should. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
We're waiting for this YouTube. We're gonna throw a party.
Watch out, Stu Gazzo. We got #1 YouTube content creator Slapshot Scott coming at you.
Yeah.
Stu Gazzo's gonna have a run for his money. All right, guys. Have a good week. I'm sad this is over.
Yeah, this is
oh well.
one.
Until next week, be the light that you want to see in others. See ya.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
Just fuck up and can't go back.
for listening to episode 22 of Barely a Destiny Show. Be sure to check us out next week at 2 p.m. on twitch.tv/DatBenMalone. See you then.